series Developers Commentary for Walking Dead Season 4. My name is Kent Mutil. I am the creative director of the final season, and with me I have...
Gideon Adlon, I play Violet.
Chris Rebert, I'm the supervising season director.
And I am Melissa Hutchison, and I play Clementine.
All right. All these excellent people. So we are going to play through some of Season 4 and sort of talk about the experiences of making it and other fun behind-the-scene tidbits as we go through. And just like in the game, we will probably curse like sailors. So if you need to be braced for that,
Probably.
please do now.
That's a
Exit
guarantee.
now. Leave.
Okay, so right off the bat, I just want to talk about this thing. So this comic book intro that we made was a huge hassle to make. I think we got an artist who, I think they had worked with Skybound at some point previously, but basically we gave them a bunch of images from the season of like framings that we wanted them to create, and then they drew that stuff, and then we gave them to another artist to run through sort of like motion graphics, and we went back and forth with them on the style and like how these camera moves worked for like what felt like months. And yeah, this looks really cool, and it was also a huge challenge to try to summarize the entire 3 previous seasons of The Walking Dead in like 2 minutes.
It looks amazing. When I saw it, I mean, it was just so standout to how the other seasons have started. I think it's really cool.
I remember I drew a very specific storyboard for that creepy little thing where Lily looks up with her eyes, and they got it exactly right.
It's really
That's
cool.
really badass. I don't know, I love this. I love how it looks flat, but it's not flat. It's just like, it's so fresh, you know, for a video game to look like this.
We made a video version of this for the web, which was like on the cool like make your own Clementine website thing. And that was just straight up in After Effects and looked gorgeous and amazing because After Effects is a powerful editing software. The tool is, the Telltale tool that this was made in is not a powerful piece of editing software with After Effects capabilities. So we had to have our poor UI artist, Adrian, recreate it in our engine, moving pieces around and trying to recreate what the other guy did, and it was super hard.
Running from their past. There was a woman who gave birth to a boy named Alvin Jr.
I remember I added this bit with Rebecca really late because I was like, oh yeah, people need to know where AJ
Yeah,
came
you
from.
have
They
to
probably
have
they
the
probably
Rebecca
forgot where
bit.
AJ came from in the first place.
Where the hell did AJ even come from?
I remember giving a lot of notes on the perfect timing of her zombie face coming down in a frame as well.
It needed to be perfect.
See, I feel privileged sitting here because I watch this stuff and I'm just like, I just take it for
God.
granted. This is just so
See,
easy.
this is so hard. What do you choose?
I'm gonna shoot
Well,
Kenny.
what?
What?
No,
You've already-
no,
you've
that
already
was,
lost
no.
a
Oh
fan.
no, it's
Kent.
already gone so
I'm out.
bad.
That's it.
Sorry.
Oh, God.
It's okay. No wrong choices.
It's okay. We'll leave Jane behind too. I think
Yeah.
alone Clementine who
To hell with her.
gets shit done for herself is
That's
the true
right.
Clementine.
Although she is
Goodbye.
badass. Bye, Jane.
Bye.
Bye.
I went on alone. Yes, you did.
She's crazy, insane.
Young mother.
Yeah, she's like 12 or something at this point, and
Yeah,
she
she's
took the
a
infants.
mom.
Yeah.
I don't know how she fed him.
I'd had enough. I took AJ and left them behind. AJ and I tried
The unfortunate thing about this thing being so expensive, I really wanted to get a frame of Javi in here, and we literally were just out of like
my
budget
God.
for like a shot of
You're
this.
right. You have David, is that Dr. Feel? I call him Dr. Feelgood. What's his actual name?
That's his name.
Voiced by Yuri Lowenthal. The doctor.
He was
you
voiced by
know.
Yuri Lowenthal?
Yeah,
I did
totally.
not know that.
I'm totally spacing on the doctor's name. That's horrible.
Lingard.
Thank you.
Dr.
Paul
Lingard.
Lingard.
but I wasn't strong enough.
The AJ here and the AJ that's also in the promo image for the season is clearly before I understood how AJ was, because he looks like a scared little baby. When
Yeah.
instead he should be glaring at those walkers with the fury of 1,000 suns.
Yeah.
Because he actually is a big murder baby.
A big, you big murder
Big cat
baby.
murder baby.
He's all I have, and I'll protect him with my life, just like Lee did for me.
The car is actually called the Barbalek. is the model of the car, and that's named after the lawyer.
Slash
lawyer.
voice actor.
Yeah, and
He
voice
was
actor.
also he's done a lot. He was the sheriff driving Lee
Yep, the first
to
person.
prison in the first episode.
That's an ironic parallel considering the scene is basically like the opening of season 1.
Oh, right.
He was also the first voice actor in Walking Dead, and the last one we ever recorded.
Pretending we got bullets.
Well, don't. It's getting on my nerves.
How about Shitbird?
It's my favorite one here.
That's me.
It's like a Kenny callback too. Which means I don't think that started as a Kenny callback. I think designer Michael Kirkbride just wrote the word shitbird because it just came out of
It
his
sounds
soul.
like something he would say.
You're a shitbird.
I think he's called me a shitbird many times.
I'm gonna call everybody a shitbird now.
Shitbird.
It's iconic, like many iconic Kenny insults.
Yeah, but it's way more interesting than saying asshole. It's like, you're shitbird, and then they're like, what?
Shitbird.
And they just walk away.
There's a fun Easter egg here too. I don't know if you can see it on the manual, but it says it's like the St. John's Culinary magazine, which is a callback to the Cannibal Brothers from season 1.
Flesh eaters.
Hey there, Alvin Jr.
Hey, Chris Rebert, what's the deal with disco broccoli?
Disco Broccoli, oddly enough, I invented when I was 9 years old and put him in the game, assuming that somebody would rewrite the scene, and it never happened.
Thank God. That's amazing.
That was exactly what I thought was going to happen, and apparently, I remember
I definitely wanted
it
to cut
became
him.
like a big thing about in
At
the
first.
office. And then I remember when Kent first rolled on, I saw his notes document, and he was like, "What the hell's up with all these vegetable jokes?"
How did you come up with disco broccoli?
I don't know. I think I just saw a piece of broccoli and drew it and put a disco suit on it, and it became like a invention when I was 9 years old. There are so many more disco broccoli characters than are in the game.
Did you? Well, that's what I was going to ask. Did you come up with Beat Nick?
Yes.
And you did.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, all
As a
those.
kid.
That was my pet project on this project, that I would stay late and
You're
throw
brilliant.
names at Kent, and he'd be like, "What's wrong with you?"
Oh, you came up with those now. Those are Disco Broccoli's
Some of
the only
them-
one from childhood.
There was actually a couple. I think all these were new, but the other ones when I was a kid was like
Calypso cauliflower. I
Punk
think.
Rock Pork Chop was one.
Weird, like, doesn't belong in the group one because she goes her own way. For some
Well,
reason,
that's
they
why
only
she's
meet.
punk rock.
I see. That's what punk is.
I want to see that.
I'm a punk rock pork chop.
We'll get you a Punk Rock Pork Chop.
Be a really good name for either a band or an album.
Punk rock
Title.
pork chop.
That's exactly her. And well, now we know who voices Punk Rock Pork Chop.
Yeah, exactly. You just booked the gig.
Just do Violet doing like her deepest possible voice.
We gonna do it?
Think so.
Looks clear.
We're doing it.
All the physical design changed. Basically, I think the main thing was that AJ just got aged up.
That's right.
When this scene was
AJ
first
got
designed,
aged up.
he was like 3 years old, and the big choice of the scene was like, do I leave him in the car while I look for food? Or is that safe?
Oh, wow.
And then that ended up being not as good of an idea as,
Was
as we thought.
was some
We will
of
talk about. I'll click on him.
So did AJ get aged up because they wanted him to speak, have a bigger presence and speaking role?
The first iteration of this story, when I rolled onto the project, AJ was barely a character. He was actually still kind of just a MacGuffin. And the at that time, the leadership on the project was really not interested in making him a character. They were trying to find ways to get him to sort of just leave the story.
Oh,
He wasn't really going to be a thing. So, but once we soon decided to make it a thing, I think Kirkbride might have had the idea, and I think weirdly Chris had the same idea earlier, to make him sort of a capable little war child. And to make that believable, we literally had to sort of scale him up from 3 to 6.
yeah. Well, and Taylor she kills it.
And she was originally
just-
cast as 10, which is weird.
Oh, really?
Before when AJ was like
Interesting.
not as big a part of the story.
Whoa.
And 10 was cast as AJ, right?
Maybe. Yeah,
Because
I don't
like,
remember.
yeah.
But he definitely sounds like at least 10-year-old kid. 10, I would think. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do I know?
I'm just going to marvel for 1 second. Oh my God, it's a Telltale game where you can spin the camera around. This was such a big deal.
I
at the
know.
time.
I remember going
our,
to all
like-
those conventions at
Took
E3.
45 engineers to get this far.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
What?
I
No,
kept,
I'm
I
just
kept talking at E3.
Yeah.
It took probably like 5 engineers. Because our games were like these like point and click things where, you know, you move around in a set camera angle. Also, the real-time combat, it's really simple, but man, did it take a lot of work.
It's down. Still with me? Still here. No bites. Next, we get in there.
The one thing I really want to do out here is I want to go get the
Your
skull.
collectibles.
It's mine, my
Yes.
collectible. I hid them all. That was one of the things I did myself.
Gotta go
Those
get
one
that
of-
skull. Oh wait, where's she gonna put it though?
I don't know.
Where's she gonna? She's gonna pick it up and she's gonna carry it around with her.
I mean, due to the magic of
Interesting.
cameras, who
She's
knows?
just going to drop it on the ground,
She's gonna put it on her head.
and it's going to disappear. Now she has it.
She just has it now.
Yeah,
I love.
that's how video games work. Just in her
It's just in
inventory.
her backpack.
Yeah, clearly.
There's one part in episode 2.
You've collected deer skull. Somehow it fit in there.
There's one part in episode 2 where Clementine talks to herself if AJ leaves the room, and I like to think it's like a moment she comes dangerously close to realizing she's an adventure game protagonist. It's like if she knew, she would just use her powers of her infinite pockets to do all
Infinite
kinds of
pockets.
wacky things.
What do we do inside a new place? We listen for monsters. After that,
Would I survive as long as Clem has survived in this
I
world?
think that too.
I know for a fact I would not have survived.
Do you think you would have survived?
I like to think that after spending so much time with this character, I at least have like a better chance of survival. I think I'd do okay, but I have a 3-pound chihuahua whom I love with all my heart. So she might doom.
She might have
my-
killed some zombies, Rosie style.
Yeah, yeah.
Look, I
Well,
love my
yeah,
dog,
I know.
but
She barely has any teeth.
if zombies showed
I
up,
know, I know.
girl,
I just want to point out how great it was that Gideon just asked the same question that Violet asks in the card game later.
Oh, that's right.
Like, how long do you think you'd survive? Or who would die
Oh
first?
my
or
God.
something?
Die first.
look at
I
that.
forgot. Little interesting design thing on the scene. We actually pretty late in making the scene decided to move the zombie couple inside the train station so the choice would be presented this way.
Oh.
They used to
Yeah.
be outside, and it used to be like technically the same choice existed. If you went out, they used to be outside where the skull was found. And so if you went out there and checked thoroughly, you would know you had another option for getting into the booth, which was a cool idea, but in execution, it felt like most people would just go into the door and miss that entirely. So they wouldn't even know that they had two options here. And we kind of needed something to present as a stark moral choice in the scene, so we reshuffled the pieces to move them inside pretty late.
This part made me kind of like sad. You know, the couple like strapped themselves down and they
Yeah.
put the key there because this was their place. And
Yes.
yeah, they want to leave this world together.
I like the stuff the season plays with regarding the, like... I feel like if the zombie apocalypse went on this long, people would start to view the zombies as like an afterlife you can see. Like, it's an idea that we kind of play with in a lot of the season, including like the James stuff. Like,
Right.
it's like if there literally were the undead and there are religious people, you think they would look at that and be like, well, that's got to be like a mid-step or something, right?
Would you? I always think about this though. Like, if I was turning into a zombie and I knew I got bit, I don't know if I'd want to sit there forever and be a zombie. I'd rather just
No,
like
just
off
go.
myself.
Just go.
You know,
It's a big question
if
of
I
the
got
season.
if I got bit, bye bye. I wouldn't want to be a zombie. No way.
It looks really stressful.
It is. They're just sitting there. She's like biting at it.
Yeah.
They seem chill. Look, they got
Yeah.
a nice view.
If I could just sit
Such
for
a
eternity,
nice
I
view.
would
Such
do
a
it.
nice view.
I would love to sit
That's why I became a game developer, so I could just sit for an eternity, basically. I was directing live action. I was like, I just want to sit down.
Oh my god, you manifested your dream.
This is a fun little Easter egg I'm pretty sure most fans have noticed, but all the locations on this card here are locations from previous seasons. There's like Macon and Richmond.
Oh,
and
nice. Oh.
There's Wellington up there.
Yep.
That's cute. Damn.
So it's not actually like, doesn't make any sense that the train here at this location has stopped at all those places, but it's just for the sake of the Easter egg.
It makes sense to us.
It makes enough sense.
Too small to crawl through. Well, for me.
The key or the window. Those are our options.
It's dark in there. We should kill the monsters. They're not people.
Well, they used to be people. And as people, they asked to be left alone.
So what's best?
I'll get the key. I'm sorry.
Come on.
Double stab. Well.
Thank you, Murder Baby.
Murder baby.
He approves of my stabbing. That's nice of him.
Go this way.
There actually was a really detailed backstory for this that you could uncover at some point.
There,
in
one
the
point that we had
design.
like a letter you could pick up and read.
Yeah.
I remember
From
that.
them?
They had
From
actually,
them, yeah.
It was like addressed to somebody who had left their little encampment here, and if they'd come back, it explained like why they killed themselves, and it also warned you that the trap was
Oh, wait.
rigged.
Do I remember that? Did I read that?
I don't think so.
Oh,
This was,
okay.
I think, before Kent rolled on.
Do I remember that?
I definitely remember that in a table read. I remember thinking the way it was written didn't make sense for how a letter would be written.
It was like, hey, dear Vern. I remember it was to Vern actually. Varum, the co-director, did that because it was from the Ernest films. There's always the off-camera Vern.
he
Oh,
was named
dear
Vern.
Vern.
Yeah.
Hey, Vern. Or,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
oh my God. Ernest goes to camp.
But it was like, dear Vern, here's a
Best
bunch of
movie ever.
exposition.
Well, in the final version, you can just tell their backstory is because if you look at this crib, which I noticed people miss too, you can tell that they probably lost their kid and they couldn't take it anymore.
That was what happened in that bad note too.
Yeah. Now it's just implied with visuals
Might be
and
why they gave up.
artistic highfalutin storytelling instead
Highfalutin.
instead of a note.
We didn't see a kid.
No, we didn't. Might be why they gave up. Spoiled. Sorry, buddy. These are long gone.
Fuck.
You said it, kiddo.
Shit, fuck. Look.
I remember the environment artist got me so mad at me for putting this in
They
there.
had to move the bed.
Well,
Yeah,
because the sheets don't move.
It's a floor door.
that is clearly one big solid
Floor door.
object.
Because that would have been so expensive.
A floor door.
Would have been so expensive.
Floor door?
Yeah. I must have wanted to hide something.
That's a lot of stuff. It is. We could eat for weeks with this much.
Where'd that grenade come from?
Shoot.
Go! It's rigged.
It's rigged. Damn it. Oh, boy.
Yeah. I do like that Clem instinctively curls her whole self around AJ.
Wait,
She's
yes.
a good mom.
Is this shaking?
Yeah, it vibrates. The controller.
Like, what is happening?
This is actually the first
For a second, I
Telltale
was like,
game
why
ever.
is the table shaking? Earthquake!
I don't know if that does anything to the recording. This is the first Telltale game ever that has vibration in it.
Whoa!
We didn't have that in our engine before. I forget why it wasn't possible, but this is the first season where it's really a thing, and it's like curated. It like vibrates at like the right times, and we had like designers going in and like messing with curves and stuff to like vibrate in time with explosions. It vibrates when you stab zombies.
Wow.
Oh, really?
It gets really detailed. In episode 3, there's stuff where you can feel Lewis's heartbeat when you're hugging him.
Can I just like... I'm
Wow.
Just
Sure,
gonna, but
it'll-
no, you're about to kill
Okay,
some
when I kill
zombies,
something,
so
it'll vibrate. So
I just have my fingers.
to visualize what's happening here, I'm holding a controller, and Gideon is gingerly touching it with several fingers.
This
beneath
is
the
turning into a
analog
whole
stick.
nother conversation
Yeah.
at this point.
So I'm gonna stab this one.
Stab him.
There you go. See?
Did you get some?
Oh, whoa!
Ah, yeah.
It's like...
Yeah. Yeah, it's
That's
timed
what
with the actions.
That's
We're
what
gonna make a gamer out of you yet,
feeling
Gideon.
sounds like.
I love AJ holding him
She's
down.
going to be at
Good
Best
job,
Buy
AJ.
right after this, getting her PlayStation.
Comes like that one doesn't even deserve a stab.
Clem, look! The keys!
Get out of here! It's trying to drive.
Press A! Press A!
I'm doing it.
The controller's probably going bananas right now, Gideon. If you want to touch it.
No!
Whee!
How did they survive that? That's bad.
Seatbelts.
Glee.
Yeah.
They're really effective.
Buckle up.
Yeah.
Okay, I need a Clem hat.
Shoot down.
I need a Clem hat. That's the only hat I should ever be walking around with.
I agree.
If
On
we
my
keep saying
head.
that enough in this building, you might get one.
Hello, upstairs.
It's kind of interesting too because we're talking about this episode and all these people who worked on it. And when I'm not to bring up the big giant downer, but it's crazy because this is all part of this game company that no longer exists.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Well, you'll notice too in this title sequence, we made a very strict adherence to titles in the title sequence at Telltale. And then when we got to episodes 3 and 4, when we moved to Skybound, we added people. Like Kent's name isn't in the credits until episode 3.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
Really?
it's listed very differently.
Interesting.
The nice thing in the Still Not Bitten credits too is I think it's just the entire Still Not Bitten team listed in alphabetical order of their last names. And like Brody Anderson was actually real big on like getting rid of like the the title structure. That,
Right.
like everybody has their roles and that kind of thing. It feels more fair, I think.
Mm-hmm.
AJ.
I can't believe these kids' plan was to hold her down with tape.
Yeah. Okay.
children.
Yeah,
Let me
they
just rip that
obviously
off.
haven't met Clementine.
That was just supposed to stop her if she turned. but
She's
still kind of-
Only if
dangerous.
she turned.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Good point. That wasn't like, this will hold her.
Yeah, they're not really. And then the door is locked too. She has to pick it with art supplies.
Right. Spoiler
yeah.
alert.
Hey, Chris, you designed the scene. How was designing this?
I did, and you just shit all over it. So
Sorry.
thanks for that. No, it was fun. We both wanted to add a lot more puzzles back in to the season, and this one was fun because it was trying to think of like how to give you a bunch of conflicting imagery. Like you can find this scrapbook of kids, but you're also tied up and the door's locked.
There's bars on the windows.
So you're trying to.
Some creepy kids.
Yeah, well, one of them's you.
Oh, snap.
Did you know you were so creepy when you were little?
She looks creepy.
It's like we were trying to think of like the 5 years in, like Clem has been surviving the apocalypse. How does she feel about meeting people, right? So we're trying to like, in this one, it was like, how do you make you feel like Clem? You're locked in a room, but there's other things that make you feel like there might be something welcoming here. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like hopefully putting you in a conflicted space as to who your captors are. I don't know if that was successful, but that was the intent.
Also, with these like kind of quiet exploration scenes, so many of the previous seasons had kind of, especially like season 3 and season 2, got pushed to be like all dialogue all the time. Everyone's talking, and it's constantly a movie. So having like these like quiet scenes where you just kind of get to poke around environment and just kind of soak in menace. I really like these.
Shit.
Examine box.
Is that?
I love the stickers on this
Is
box.
that Minerva's?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, was Minerva the artsy? No, Sophie's there.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
that's
no,
Sophie,
Sophie.
yeah.
Minerva's,
that's
and
right.
that's
So in theory-
Minerva's sister.
Sister.
Yeah, so in theory, this is Sophie's box.
Okay,
It's
I remembered it was
Minerva's, Minerva's music and Sophie's art.
Okay, I remembered it was one of them, one of the sisters.
To be fair, they're identical twins.
Yeah, that's.
To be fair. So these walking around these scenes, I remember in season 2, especially when I was very first time playable character, that trying to make the, point and click on objects not sound totally like, oh, look, a screwdriver. Perhaps that will come in handy. It's interesting because there's so much of that in these games, and there's such a nuance to doing that without it sounding completely stupid. I basically just patted my own self on the back. Wow.
Good job, Melissa.
I did a really amazing job
You've really
with those
enhanced.
point and clicks.
You've really enhanced
That's
my
not what I
experience
was.
of
Yeah,
Clementine looking at some debris.
not what I was trying to say.
The
But
debris.
You want them in theory at best to get something out of,
right.
clicking on stuff.
Well,
and
still
not
a
just,
game. They have to
Yeah.
I clicked on that. That could.
But like the shittiest version of that, Clement clicks on the door and she goes, a door.
Yep.
But click on the door and you get
a
some
door.
character or something.
Oh my god, it's so crazy
And we
hearing
do
you
still
do
have
her
those. We're not
voice.
the best at-
Well, Marlon's character used to be a lot different before you rolled on when his model was actually made. He used to be a lot more kind of bullying.
He's still bullying, but it's just secret now.
Yeah, it's just a secret
Right.
bully.
Right. Secret bully.
It's a pretty cool introduction to his character and Ten's character, too. Ten was also kind of mute in earlier drafts of the script, right? So that's kind of why he doesn't talk very much in the scene, I think.
Yeah, even Marlon has a line that says like, "This is Tennessee." He doesn't say much or something along those
Until
lines.
episode 3.
Yeah, and then he goes on to say
Then he
so
can't
many
get him to
things.
shut up.
Got your boy, he's safe. If you want to see him again, you'll drop that knife. Now. I'm not fucking around.
Let's make a deal. You lower yours, I'll lower mine.
On the count of 3. 1, 2.
Well, and this would probably be a wonderful time to mention that Gideon and I, that's hard to say in one sentence. It also could be the bourbon, have not met each other until today, which is crazy.
Yeah.
We've recorded all these amazing scenes together, kind of in the way you do in video games. Mm-hmm. So this is pretty awesome to be here with you.
I just hear your voice and respond. Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It makes me happy. I mean, I hope we get to do more stuff where we're hanging out.
I do
but,
too.
I don't know, I've been waiting to meet you because clearly the fandom loves us together.
Yes, they
Loves
do.
Clementine. Valentine. You know, we're pretty cute, so.
We are.
We were really excited to meet.
That's so nicely. Sorry about locking the door and tying you to the bed and all. You were in pretty rough shape when we found you. We had to take precautions, you know, just in case. But you're safe now, and so's your friend. I'm Marlon. That's Tennessee. But call him 10 for short. He's the one been taking care of you. He doesn't talk much.
Clementine.
Come on, let's go see your boy. You've been surviving out there a while, huh?
Yeah, we've been on the road a long time.
Take it you know how to handle yourself? Don't usually see people our age alone out in the wild.
Sure, I do what I can to get by.
No matter what. Don't worry about it. We all do what we have to.
There's Gideon.
Who's that?
You two out of that wreck. Walkers were on the way.
The car, was it totaled?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Had to work fast. I don't know what would have happened if we hadn't seen the smoke.
I appreciate it.
All alone with the kid? Not a pleasant thought. I've seen some rough scenes.
Hi there? What's his problem?
Omar never says anything, but you know.
Does a couple of things, doesn't he?
It's
does.
more fun to see what the fandom does with him.
It is more
Apparently
funny.
he's
It is.
a cook god.
I'm almost happy we didn't end up giving him any lines because he became this huge meme in the fandom where he's like the god of cooking. And it's like him versus Gordon Ramsay and shit on Reddit.
What?
Yeah.
I need to watch. I need to. So much to see. Thank you to all those fans who do all this, put all this effort into those kinds of things, by the way.
I'm here for the fan art.
Amazing fan art.
Yeah, it's really good.
Amazing fan art.
Every time I get to work on something that actually inspires like creativity from other people, I feel very rewarded.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like myself, but I'm probably a little biased. Wasn't always like this, though. There used to be a lot of us, but you know how it goes. I got us a system in place that works well enough. Allow me to make it formal. Welcome to Erickson's boarding school for troubled youth. You and your boy, feels like you both fit that description. It's hard to survive too long these days without being a bit troubled.
You got me and AJ all wrong, Marlon. Couple of pure angels.
Jury's still out on you, but an angel your boy is decidedly not. It's been a little terror since he arrived.
Excuse me?
Let's just say he hasn't been happy.
I remember we specifically could not show Lewis in E3 footage because they hadn't yet figured out how to make his dreadlocks move. I remember distinctly where I had a meeting where I was like, so when will Lewis's dreadlocks move? And people were like, what? And I'm like, oh my god, they need to move. We cannot show him to the world until his dreadlocks move.
Oh, man.
He's with Lewis.
Lewis?
Oh, right. Just listen for the music. You'll find him. Get a move on, Willie. Where's your damn weapon?
Follow the music. Check.
I need to real
Yeah,
quick talk about these diplomas of ass. This is my favorite stupid
Big ass.
joke.
That's actually what my diploma
Doctorate
is.
of
In
ass.
an ass?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Doctor of ass.
Bachelor of ass.
Wait,
I'm
what
a
was the other one?
bachelor of ass.
Doctor of ass and
Oh, this
Why
is who
it's
I'm going to
Ruby.
cosplay. I'm going to cosplay Ruby at a
Oh, you could
convention.
totally
I
do
swear to
it.
God.
Yeah, if you dyed your hair, you could totally do it.
My hair is pretty red.
I actually auditioned for Ruby first, and then Jack was like, "No, you're great, but I'd love you to read for Violet." And then I did Violet.
I didn't even know
But I
that.
auditioned for Ruby.
I bet that was fun.
Originally.
I remember hearing you as Violet, and it was just like, clearly that's Violet.
Yeah.
You had like this voice that was like, I remember Joe Muller, or VO, like head of VO, saying like, Gideon has like an accent, and it sounds like it's from somewhere, but we don't know where it is. And that's like perfect for Violet.
You know what? That's so weird because so many people ask me if I'm from not here.
Right.
And I'm like, what accent do I have? And they're always like, I don't know. Do I have an accent? I think I sound like a valley girl.
No. You have some like
Are you from California?
non-regional.
Yeah, born and raised valley.
You do have a really unique sound to your voice.
Well, my dad's German. My mom's from New York.
Maybe that is
Mix.
That's the mix.
I think Rivers mentioned
crazy.
before there were really early versions of Violet where she had like a thick kind of country accent.
Well,
yeah, actually,
Violet did?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I auditioned. One
Which makes
of my
sense why you auditioned
auditions,
for
I
Ruby
was
because they're
like,
kind of similar. If that was what we were going
in
to
the
do.
casting sheet, she was from West Virginia. I don't know if that's
West-
canonically correct or
no,
not.
yeah.
Interesting.
And
The final season takes place in I don't know what state
in the
canonically.
audition. In the audition, I did it with a southern accent. Actually,
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
I did.
When we first see Ruby, it was like that little motherfucker. And my favorite moment in the booth with you, Melissa, was you doing the impression. Yeah. I remember everybody lost it because you just nailed it perfectly.
The dreads.
The dreadlocks are
They
Honestly,
move.
Lewis
Moving
is,
around.
Lewis is real cute.
He's handsome.
Lewis is goddamn adorable.
Loud and clear, little man. Thankfully, I was here to calm him down with my alluring music.
Sterling.
Sterling
Another
Suleiman.
person I haven't met yet, which is
Who
crazy.
I haven't met.
No, we don't meet anybody.
super
a-
nice.
yeah, he did an amazing job.
I guess we might not know that most voice actors don't record their stuff together.
Yeah. If
think
you
for this-
guys think that, that's not the case. None of us ever
It's
record
very
together.
rare in video games.
Double mama? Does he know what that is?
It's dirty. Clean it. Leave it later. Back you go. Where it belongs.
Dude, that can't be a good idea. That thing's bigger than him. Is it actually loaded?
It's my gun, so it's my rules. Our gun. Our gun.
Just when you think you've seen it all. You guys do your thing, I guess.
You don't know any others?
Well, there is one. But you're armed. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling.
Oh,
Okay,
here
we
is.
get it.
We get it. You're
This,
gorgeous.
by the
Oh
way,
my darling, she's mine. She's mine.
He like really belts at it. He does not fuck around with this song.
This was technically a nightmare to get to work.
Yeah, talk about that
To
for a
be
second.
able to like let the player choose what they want to say and like interrupt the song, like that the way that our engine works, that's not an easy thing to do, because it was you have to be able to hit the button and have like this immediate response. But the way this works, like he has to keep singing, and we couldn't break the time, we couldn't break the piano because it's all playing in the background. So this was a fucking nightmare.
Wow.
But
It feels
turned out
seamless
pretty
in
good.
the final product,
Yeah.
and I remember it being hard. I remember being really awkward the first couple times it was put together. You press the button, and he would like sing half a line or something, and it's like we just can't do that.
That was the one thing I video recorded when we were in the VO booth was Sterling singing. Sterling singing
Yeah,
that
he
song.
went
He's
for it.
incredible.
He did it like on the first try. I think we had to get him to sing less good. Like that was because like
Yeah, I'm
Lewis is not
saying
supposed
he
to be a
nailed it.
professional.
I feel like shit right now because I'm thinking about the lullaby I had to sing.
Oh,
and
you
not
sounded
the
so
You sound
sweet.
amazing in that. You sound amazing in that.
It sounded so sincere. Like it sounded really, really sweet and sincere.
I was so sad I couldn't make that VO session because I wrote that song with Lauren, the writer, and I was like, I want to be there for that.
Actually, you
Yeah,
sounding kind
it
of
was really
a little
good.
bit imperfect in that makes it feel real because it
Yeah.
sounds like
Yeah.
Violet's character doing it.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't sound like a professional singer.
There's
doing
like a
it, 'cause Violet's not
vulnerability
supposed
to
be a
it.
professional singer.
For taking out a few deadheads. You too, Lewis. Get your ass in gear. Fine.
Oh, you're about to speak, Gideon. I love.
I'm
these
about
first
to be.
lines.
I'm rude.
Selfishly, I
I'm
got to
Violet's
write
so
it.
mean here. It's great.
I'm so rude.
But this was like, I think I got to write this part for Violet, and it was mostly because like I was trying to think of how Violet would kind of like try to
Yeah.
flirt.
Hey, Rosie! Where the hell is she? You give her weapon back? Good. We're gonna need you to put it to use. We've got a hunting party out there trying to get back inside. Need our help to clear the way. Seems to be a few more than usual these last couple days.
It's almost like something drew their attention. Something like, I don't know, an explosion or a car crash.
Bye.
She's so mean.
So good.
It's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice experience because you met Marlon and he seems pretty nice, and Lewis seems pretty nice, and then you meet Violet and she
Yeah,
just like
someone's
suddenly
gotta
put
have an
put her
edge.
on.
Yeah.
But then it just
that's
makes
where
you-
they connect almost.
Yeah, it
you
makes
know?
it makes you want more. It makes you want to get through to her real center.
What he said.
All right, boys and girls, they're starting to fill in.
Come on.
Be careful out there. Don't mind Violet. She,
So edgy.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
it's
Lewis
Cheryl's.
is
Oh, God.
cute.
Cheryl's.
There's a story behind Cheryl's too.
Please tell it.
One of our cinematic artists, Jonah Huang, I'm sure I pronounced the last name wrong, but he had a second chair at his desk and he named it Cheryl's. And I was like, that's too good to not be in the game.
That's amazing.
Cheryl's.
And Lewis's weapon became a chair leg just by happenstance
Cheryl's.
because it was like, what's the weird weapon
Oh.
that we could give Lewis?
God.
Even though that leg is way too big to actually be from a chair.
Brilliant.
This is an episode 4 thing, but it's relevant. At one point,
Yes.
Violet's so cool.
So wing.
At one point in episode 4, we had a birthday party for AJ, and there were presents given to him by the other characters. And Lewis, in some branches, would give him a stool leg, and he would call it Cheryl's Jr.
Charles
It was
Jr.
a fight to be called Charles Jr. or Stulio. I remember debating that.
Oh, damn.
No, I like Cheryl
That's a
Jr.
tough
I like
call.
Cheryl Jr. because there was a cut line where AJ said, "That's like my name, Alvin Jr."
Ooh. That's satisfying.
I love these impossible rock traps the children have put together.
Yeah.
How did they get those
that
up there?
The rainbow
yeah.
puffy jacket from
That thing is
season
iconic.
2 is one of my favorites. I want one.
Does she have to break into a store and like get them?
You know, the
Or
puffy
you don't
jacket
see that?
we do see that given to her, but for the most part, she just
She just appears
happens.
with the clothing.
Yeah, appears
Yeah,
with the new
cool.
clothes.
Yeah, I don't know where she got this sweet jean denim
I
on
know.
denim on
Yeah, I
denim
was looking
look.
at that and I was like, damn, look at that design.
Yeah.
Girl.
Boom. Oh, wow.
Looks like they made it back in one piece. Come on, meet them halfway.
Honestly, you can learn so much from these games. Like the kick the leg,
Yeah.
get it in
you
the
see,
head.
this is all.
That's the trick she learned from Jane, season 2. I remember distinctly summarizing this bit. We added it later in the script to the
Violet's
entire
hot.
room full of people making the game, and I remember it being like Clementine going like, "Hey, you're pretty good," and Violet goes like, "Yeah, I know, but you're pretty good too."
Oh my god.
I was like, "Yeah, we're putting them in the game." Because we had to figure out what the hell like the Violet character arc worked. Like, where do Clem and Violet sort of start to connect?
Cute.
And it's like she doesn't think much. She clearly is pretending she doesn't think much of Clem, but
You know, you're not half bad considering the circumstances and all.
Thanks.
Let's finish these guys off. We don't need them attracting more walkers back to the school.
Piece of shit. I hate this cleanup bullshit.
fucking
Whoa,
awesome stuff.
Rosie.
Rosie rules so hard.
Rosie. Love her.
And this is a nice continuity with Clem from the previous seasons, having had a horribly traumatic experience with dogs in the second
Sam.
season.
He was hungry.
Yeah, there's a dog that bites Clem's arm in the second season. Animals do not get infected with the virus.
Okay.
They actually say in the comic the giant tiger Shiva eats walkers.
Shiva.
Because they just don't have enough meat to feed it. Which makes me go, because I actually at one point was like, wait, how does Rosie live? Okay, she probably
How is
she can eat
that
walkers.
fair?
And
How
they
is that
feed-
fair?
I don't think the walker meat is inherently infectious on its own. It's just disgusting.
No,
Yeah.
but the blood, I feel like the blood, like the head juice.
I don't think, yeah.
The
The
magic
head
of
The head juice.
All the head juice.
gigantic rabbit.
How'd it go out there? How do you think it went?
Be nice, Asim.
The safe stone's nearly dry. I could barely find enough for tonight. We're gonna have
Here's where the flirting contest begins
I
between
know,
Lewis
right?
and Violet.
And I get both. I know that Violet was the most popular choice. But I can see, Clementine also
it's
needs a
pretty
laugh.
even.
Pretty even. I think Violet's
Yeah.
a little bit bigger.
Oh, I thought,
I know.
yeah, okay.
Oh, look at this. Love triangle right
Look at
there.
that right there. I think I like the most about Lewis and Violet is they both feel totally valid as romance.
Right,
outcomes
it's
for
not
Clem.
like,
Yeah.
oh, come on, man.
Yeah, you can
No.
choose to have sort of fun times, or you can choose to have a
way-
badass lesbian warrior.
You kicked ass, Violet. A+.
I know.
Yeah, okay, so that's all we're going to look at a 4 or 1 because we want to see the finale of the season because that's got a lot of stuff to talk about and react to. So, everybody ready to move on?
Yes.
Super excited.
I guess.
Last time on The Walking Dead.
I do want to point out how cool it is that AJ narrates this one, which we did entirely to make the player feel uncomfortable about Clementine's fate.
Right. Why is AJ talking?
I kind of took the same idea from Batman actually, because the last episode of Batman season 2, Joker kind of narrates the like previously on sort of thing, which normally it had been Bruce saying something about justice,
Right,
but
of
instead
course.
it's Joker leaving a voicemail on Bruce's phone. So I really wanted to have the sort of like choice receptacle character, which in this season is AJ, do a similar thing here.
Nice.
And also Taylor just sounds great.
She does.
I remember Jack and Joe made a point that AJ would not be smart enough to say previously on. He says last time
Last
on
time,
The Walking Dead,
right.
and Jack was very adamant about that.
Yeah.
About
Yeah,
being like
Jack.
previously on is beyond AJ's language
Yes.
capabilities.
Jack Fletcher was the director, the VO director on the season, and he was amazing.
I love Jack.
Yeah,
Everybody
amazing
loves
to
Jack.
work with. I mean, beyond his obvious talents as a director and getting us to give the performance that was needed and wanted, he's just an amazing human being, and he's hilarious.
He really is. He's an old hippie.
Yeah.
He's an old hippie.
To paint a picture of Jack, he's a tall old hippie that wears circular glasses and giant gray dreadlocks.
Yep.
He looks.
And he always chews gum. Uh-huh. He always has gum in his mouth.
I distinctly remember one time when I realized that Jack was magic. It was actually to get Lewis revved up to do the stuff in the Marlin finale of episode 1. He did this thing where he like took Sterling on this whole like emotional journey, and he was like, "This is like your best friend," and you're like just learning all these horrible truths about him, and it's like hitting you like deep in your gut, and you feel it sort of down there, and you just have to let it all out, and you go. And then Sterling just said the lines, and they were amazing, and I was like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
this man's magic."
No, he was magic. I was thrilled, and we developed. I mean, just over the season, from not knowing each other at all, and to the end of the season of just, I want to work on everything with him.
This was fun.
Wow.
That's all I have to say.
This was
No.
a lot of screaming for me. I remember that.
This was a fun design just because it was really just trying to make you feel like Clem could die at any second
Yes.
at the very beginning of the episode and just making it feel like you were out of your element and that all the things that you went through going up to this moment in the story, like really the consequences of how heavy all that stuff was, like very at the front of the episode.
This is amazing. The walkers in the water and the fire and the look at the shadowing. Wow.
I want to shout out to Jonah again for doing the cinematics on the scene. He killed it.
Yes. For Cheryl's and the cinematics.
Jonah's given us many things.
Yes. It's so fantastic.
I've been working with Jonah with Jonah at Telltale for years. He's just been amazing on everything he's on. He was my choreography lead on both of the episodes of Batman I directed as well.
Nice.
He was my first choreography lead on Walking Dead 303.
Oh wow.
Find a way down. This ship isn't gonna stay afloat much longer.
Oh, little AJ.
I
so
love
cute.
him.
I did too.
Because AJ has that blood in his face, that means we're playing the path where he bit off Dorian's ear.
I know.
Which is my favorite
And she
part.
just says, he bit me. Not like, he bit off my fucking ear. Like, it was just like, he bit me.
I think we recorded that line
Ear is
before we
gone.
realized that her entire ear was gone.
Yeah,
Or like,
your
this shouldn't
ear
have put it
is
in.
gone.
That shouldn't
And
have
that
been-
was Deborah Wilson,
That was
who
Deborah
is one
Wilson.
of my heroes.
Deborah Wilson is my favorite. She played
Yes.
Waller in Telltale's Batman, which is why I just needed to get her in this game.
Yeah.
Your
well, I'm
favorite
glad you
present
did.
company excluded, I
Yes.
assume.
Sorry, I love all voice actors I've worked with equally.
Whatever you do.
Ooh, girl.
That part makes my heart jump out of my throat every single time we play it. I'm still not bored of that part.
Even
I
though
played this
you
episode like 50 times.
Know what happens.
I have to admit, I stole that from episode 105 when
Good.
Lee's walking across the sign.
Oh, really?
The McCabe. I was like, I wanted to call back to that moment a little bit.
Here we go.
I love how much the walkers in the water feel like a big element here. Like they're always like underneath you and they're super
She
dangerous.
must be buff.
and buoyant.
She got a lot of muscle.
Yeah,
She
Clever-
is. She's totally buff.
She's totally buff because like
She is.
Clever took her
Yeah.
shirt off. She just looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
she's just hiding
To
it.
the helicopter. What do they get to the chopper? Right, sorry.
Get your ass to
Can you say
the
get?
chopper.
Can you say get to the chopper like Clementine?
Get to the chopper.
Nice.
But with a German, I was a little
Nice.
confused. Should I do it with like the...
Get
what
to
is
the
he...
chopper.
Yeah,
I think you
there
can say it
go.
in
See?
Clementine's voice just completely. I think that's
I
just
can't do
fine.
Clementine's voice.
Can you do Violet saying get to the chopper?
Get to the chopper.
Perfect.
She'd just be all like angsty.
That was just your
and-
voice slightly deeper.
Whatever you do, don't look down.
Oh, Robert, do you want to talk about the lines we cut from Gad?
Yeah, I guess.
From who?
Gad is this raider right here that shoots arrows at him.
When
This
I,
is Gad.
when I was
Oh.
writing this scene, Kirkbride gave me the note to make Gad be like a Predator guy, like a Predator action hero. So I wrote all these lines that were like based on him being the sheriff of Nottingham and Clem being Robin Hood.
Oh.
I can't remember all of them.
He definitely comes Nottingham action height.
Dick destruction.
It's just always
How
such a
tall
good
is he?
look for him.
Oh, you know, dick
AJ
destruction, height.
Right in the face.
Has anyone seen my son? He's about 6, big afro, dick height.
Very destructive of the dick if need be. I was picturing her in a canoe. I don't know why. This is good. I like what I'm seeing.
Because you heard about the boat,
It's much
so you're
more
like, canoe.
badass than a little canoe.
Yeah, I love the visuals in this bit.
Yeah.
Clementine has dramatically bad aim all of a sudden.
Yeah, I know.
But it's fine.
What?
It's thematic. And then Lily gets all wispy about it at the end.
There's a lot of space between her and the raft.
It's true. Bows are not magic.
Yeah. Plus, Gad was
Damn.
wrong. She's not Robin Hood, so...
Thanks. I'll need the
Here we go. Lily's best line.
Without reinforcements, my
Wow.
Just the defeat in her voice is so...
She's just so broken up. I really quite like it. She's like she was actually trying to get a little bit of a connection with Clem in that scene. If you play that scene that way, Clem is like, no connection, no emotion. I hate you.
Voiced by Nikki Rapp.
Voiced beautifully by Nikki Rapp.
That fire is so realistic. So
We got
beautiful.
new fire effects for this season. This is a fun fact.
Wow.
I remember at one point our effects guy was amazing this
Yeah,
season.
Mike Parsons.
I remember when he showed us he made glass that worked and he showed the fire through the glass and I was like, this is too crazy.
He would always be like, you'd be like, hey, can we get new fire? And be like, I don't know. And then 10 minutes later, he'd be like, here's your new fire. And it would look amazing.
Wow.
So I was like, I don't know if I can do it. And
Yeah.
I just do it.
And it's
And 24
Beautiful.
hours later.
The water stuff in this season is amazing too. The stuff in 403 where they go under the water to sneak up on the docks is so good
with
looking.
the
Especially
walkers.
considering the ancient nature of our engine, it's amazing. It looks so good.
Jared Emerson Johnson, who did all the
Randy.
music.
It's
And
powerful
Randy. I saw him the other night. It made me so happy.
Oh, he's so delightful.
He was with Telltale for 15 years. He was actually one of the very first people in the doors.
Yeah, it's kind of wonderful. He's on
Yeah.
their last project
Yes,
ever
I
under the name
agree.
Telltale.
I think it should be said that in the scene where you guys are on the bell tower, there's an Easter egg constellation of a mustache.
Yes.
And a lot of people think it's a Kenny reference, but it's actually
It's-
a Randy Tudor
It's Randy
reference.
Tudor.
The thing is, Randy
there's
is real life Kenny.
Easter egg in season 1, is it right? Where Lee says Randy
it's
Tudor.
it's in season 3 too. I don't
Something
think
powerful man, powerful stash. What is it? I can't remember.
Randy Tudor, good man, fine man, powerful stash.
Yeah.
One of the greats.
I thought it was Lee. It was Lee that said
Lee
it,
says
right?
it in the first season.
Okay.
I don't think
Jesus
anybody
says
says the
it
second
in
season.
the third season.
I remember for the longest time we didn't have enough smoke in the shot, and I was like, when will it
More
become
smoke.
smoky? The VFX are a thing that kind of gets added almost last. So effects that are VFX related, like
That
this
looks
zombie.
real.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
part
it's
looks real.
really good.
For the longest time, this zombie that appears in the next shot was just super obvious. So it was why is Clem taking a while to understand what it is? Because it's it was
Just standing-
just like
Wait,
a zombie.
what is
Clem's like, huh?
that?
A what?
Do you remember in early drafts of the scene, it could have been Lewis, Violet, or Minerva?
Oh,
Oh my
and
god.
that would have walked through the smoke, and then it just defaulted to a zombie.
well, Lewis.
That is tongueless Lewis, right?
That is. Yeah, looks
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, okay, we got it. Thank God.
Yay! Okay.
We just did some real
No
behind the
offense,
scenes
Lou.
wizardry to make sure we could play the Violet route because we
Trying to
have
make sure
Gideon
that
here.
Gideon was
I'd love
present.
There we go. Yeah, that's
Thumbs
that's
up.
the funniest and saddest thing in the entire game is
Yeah.
to tell Lewis a joke and he's just like, sorry, can't make a joke in return.
Thumbs
No
up.
tongue.
No tongue. Yes.
Here we go. Gotta save my
Yay.
girlfriend.
There she is.
Is she your girlfriend in this?
Well, I think she might be. Well, we're about to
Yeah.
find out if they touch their hands together romantically. Here
Oh,
it is.
Yeah, there you go.
This right here is proof of love.
Bravo. Oh.
Only people who love each other do that hand thing.
Yes,
That
exactly.
part's sad right there too. Violet sees she hasn't really had time to sit down and think about how bad it is Lewis got no tongue.
Yeah,
It's actually so sad he doesn't have a tongue.
it really. I know, because he was so effervescent. I'm gonna use that word.
After the explosion.
We made sure that each of their horrible wounds was really bad for the specific person they are.
Right.
We're really mean.
Yeah, you
It's
are.
the Walking Dead guys.
I know.
That's true.
Oh, thank God. You guys made it.
There's more walkers than I can count. That explosion drew them right to us.
Stay cool. We knew this would happen. We just have to get off this beach. Look! We got the cart around.
Ruby, Willie! Come on! We're getting out of here!
There's Sue Lenny out there. We should talk about Sue
Oh,
Lenny for a
yeah,
second.
Sue
Sue Lenny, the lady who
Lenny.
looks like she's wearing a couch. She at one point was the final boss.
Yeah, she was the Minnie on the bridge before Minnie became the Minnie on the bridge.
Yeah, she was going to be strapped with grenades and like on fire or something, and she was going to chase you across the bridge. Just
Awesome.
furious that she was the last raider, and we had to strap her with grenades on fire because we couldn't figure out how to make her scary because she's very